testified in this commission requested us in the internal disciplinary process through the representative of the city for an indulgence to postpone the disciplinary hearing in order to accommodate the proceedings of this commission. And Commissioner, we're quite, well aware that of the importance of and the agency thereof to make sure, this process is being finalized. We don't have an issue. Say it's okay, go and attend there. But now, why I'm bringing this point, Commissioner, when it is our turn to ask for the same favor so that we accommodate this commission, we don't just get an objection, it's a vehement objection to say, you're not going to see that. I take the case from the city.
Whom?
From the city. Okay, I will say through their representatives, but
all right.
it's the city. I've got proof here, Commissioner.
Was there no postponement on Friday?
There was no postponement. I made a substantive request through an email after having made a telephone call, negotiated. On Tuesday, I requested that postponement. It is rejected. I don't have an option after consult because I'm getting frustrated. We don't have time.
When is Director Malatji supposed to appear?
On Friday the 24th, Commissioners.
We are past that date now. I'm asking, when is he supposed to appear there?
In the hearing?
Yeah. When next?
It will be May. It was adjourned to May. I can check, but I think it's the second.
I don't think we need to go into any detail about that then, if that's passed. And
Commissioner, the reason why I'm raising that point is to show that we were at all time trying to negotiate for time, but we were not given that time, and then we didn't have enough time. And why I'm raising these, Commissioners, is that we had to go and give a specific attention to this internal disciplinary process, which we are being rejected to get an indulgence. Even if we made an official postponement application, they just rejected us. On Friday, Commissioners.
What's the point for our purposes? What's the point for our purposes?
The point is that we only got the subpoena on Friday after the proceedings of the internal disciplinary proceedings have adjourned this last Friday. And Commissioner, I'm sure you are all aware, it's a long weekend, but we still gave some time, 1 or 2 days during the long weekend, to prepare for the supplementary statement. We received it in the afternoon. And coincidentally, I was not feeling well, but I worked, Commissioner. I've got proof of that effect. And then over the weekend, I think we had Saturday or Monday just to assist Mr. Malatji to craft the statement. But it transpired that we still don't have that bundle which we requested on the 13th.
I think I must go back to my question. Can you please itemize the documents that you are complaining about? Please give us, because it's quite crucial. The nature of the documents is quite crucial for the determination of your request or application. Because, for example, off the top of my head, I remember that Director Malatji said he never gave any instruction to Major Phiri to do anything with regard to the ad hoc appointments. Major Phiri actually did give him instructions with regard to ad hoc appointments. I'm just giving that by way of example to make the point that to go through, you can't even take more than 1 minute to go through those emails.
Commissioner,
so please hear me out. Please hear me out.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you are given to responding whilst I'm talking.
My apologies.
Yes, the point I'm making there is to say specificity with regard to the nature of the documents is necessary because depending on the nature, we may be able to say from such and such a date, whatever the date you receive the documents on, you should have been able to go through those documents. You should have been able to consult with the Director Malatji on those documents. I'm just giving that one example to say less than 1 minute to read. If you give us all of them, maybe we will be able to engage you on all of them. Please itemize them.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner, there's a document which we received only yesterday. It's appearing on the bundle that we received from the Commissioner. It's 418-page document, which Mr. Malatji...
What's its nature?
It's the tender document, tender TMPD 2, 2015 of 2016. The main document in which the crux of the testimony of Mr. Malatji was based when he was giving testimony previously. It's here, it's in our possession. It was only given to us in the midday of Tuesday, a day before yesterday, Commissioners. And of course, when we had a quick browse on it, it was after we have already submitted the supplementary statement.
And you say it's what? 400 pages?
It's the document.
400 plus, you say?
It's got 418 pages documents, Commissioners.
And you say that's the tender document itself?
That is the tender documents, and like I said, Commissioners.
But I don't know. Of course, I'm still going to give Mr. Skakane an opportunity to respond. But I would be surprised that for purposes of Mr. Malatji's testimony, there will be a need to traverse a tender document from beginning to end. I would be very, very surprised.
Commissioners, there were questions about this tender, which were at quite length posed to Mr. Malatji. And when we were doing the...
But I'm making a different point.
Commissioners, yes?
Yes, surely there would have been questions relating to certain aspects of the tender.
Yes.
But my point is, I would be very surprised if the tender document itself, the nitty-gritty of the tender document itself, will be dealt with from page 1 to page 418.
Well,
I'll be. But as I say, we'll hear what Mr. Skakane says as to the purpose. I'm looking at your face. You.
Well, Commissioner, I must say I'm very stressed. I'm getting stressed.
Yes, you do look
stressed. It's a common
stressed.
practice
Yes.
that if there's a quite voluminous document which is presented, you need to look into the documents.
Okay.
This allegation.
That's all right. Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
That's the first one. Yeah.
Yes, and then now there is also the other paginated document, again, which was submitted late. It's 122 pages. It talks about the statements of Rivos Peace. It talks about the statement of Sean Boles. There are also transcripts that are involved, you know.
Just, no, one at a time. So a 122-page document talking
Yes.
about Spies and Paul Hayes',
Yes.
their testimony.
Yes, their statement, the testimony, the transcript. There's also a copy of the CDR. And Commissioners, I must say, we never got a chance to have a...
The last thing you said, is that a separate document which we must...
Yes, it's a separate document.
Can you please articulate it again?
Okay, can I start from the beginning, Commissioners?
No, got the others.
There's a copy of the CDR trying to
The
contact...
tender, the 418-page tender document.
Yes.
Was the third document you mentioned, the CDR Tshwane
Contact analysis, yes.
Okay.
There's also contact summary.
Just, please.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Contract analysis. And, okay, that's number 3. Number 4?
Number 4, well, it's not really much. It's going to be contact summary plus cell phone number index. It's not really much, 2 pages for that. But yes, but in essence, the document has got 122 pages. Commissioners, in the...
What else?
In the early hours of is it, I think it was, let me just, I'm quickly browsing to that email. Commissioners, just a second. There's an email which I received from Diale Mukhashwa attorneys this morning. It was almost 12 o'clock, but I saw it in the early hours of the morning, where they were addressing the same point which we are addressing now, the issue of the outstanding documents. But what is very surprising,
So a response.
a response to the instructing attorneys. Now, there's a paragraph which is also upsetting us, because in that email, after having addressed our concerns and they responded, they are saying, kindly we hereby provide the link containing additional documents, and they give us the link. And we saw this email in the early hours of the morning. I can even safely say, Commissioners, we have not even been able to look into what is being attached in the email which they sent at 23:52 yesterday, just before 12 o'clock. That serves as another indication, Commissioners, that we are not prepared, because if there are some other documents that are still going to be produced at the last hour, when we should have already prepared and finalized our preparations for these proceedings, it becomes a problem. And Commissioners, the fact that it's a link, because I tried to download this document, I was just struggling, but anyway, I had to prepare to come to this commission as well. It shows that the document might be quite voluminous as well. We haven't read, and I believe they wouldn't have just sent us the document if there was no purpose in sending it to us. Of course, Commissioners, I think it will be fair for Mr. Malatji to be afforded that opportunity to look into what has been sent through there. And Commissioner, another quite aspect which I need to indicate while I'm on that. In total, these documents are just over 600 pages, excluding these ones which have been sent this morning. And we saw the need through the instruction of Mr. Malatji, of course, because there was quite a number of things to do, to engage the council, to say, let's get the second opinion on how we can fast track this issue going forward, which is why the council accompanied me today, and we formed the legal team for Mr. Malatji, just to fast track the process and make things easy. She's still going to go through the documents and see what is happening and give the inputs. In fact, Commissioners, I can safely say that the statement which was submitted on Monday, it was not to our satisfaction, and even for the satisfaction of Mr. Malatji. We were under extreme pressure. But of course, Commissioners, we understood Mr. Malatji's concern, because he did not want to find himself on the wrong side of the Commission's directive, even though it transpired that we are not ready to submit the statement. But he just insisted, and we understood his frustration, of course, to say, at least because we've got something to submit, let's do that to respect and comply with the directive of the Commission, even though the subpoena and the directive was given right towards the close of business on Friday when it was a long weekend and so on. But at least let's submit something to make it a point that we submit, Commissioner. And Commissioner, honestly, really, we are not prepared, and Mr. Malatji is also not prepared. And I don't think the Commission will suffer prejudice. We're just asking a reasonable time. We're going to bend ourselves, Commissioners, to make it a point that we come back with a very well-informed statement, fully prepared, and make it a point that we give the information that is required. And Commissioners, this is to the benefit of the Commission as well, because we might have very valid inputs which we are not aware at this stage, which will assist the Commissioners in, making its correct finding and making the work of the Commission to be quite easy, Commissioner. So, based on that, Commissioners, I can add, I see my council is also taking some notes, but it's a humble request, Commissioners. We are not prepared. I mean, we are humbly requesting to be afforded an opportunity. We will come back within reasonable time. We promise we're going to try our utmost best to make it a point that we come back ready. We understand it's the testimony of Malatji, but he definitely needs to be advised. We've got all the documentation as we speak now, and I'm sure it will be quite easier going forward to help him have a final and a full preparation properly, so that he gives a very informed, evidence before this commission. Those are my submissions for now. Otherwise, I will address the commissioners at a later stage if it's necessary.
On a light note, there has been somewhat of a refrain that you grudgingly had to work over a long weekend. I was a practitioner once, and for many years, those are the hazards of legal practice. I also had to work over weekends, work into the early hours of the morning, 3 a.m. during the week, and, hazards of the profession. So you should not be grudging over that.
Commissioner, I'm in full agreement with that. Of course, I'll have to mention it in passing. It's not a normal day. I'm not well. I'm from the doctor. I'm on medication and all those things.
No,
but
I
still
heard
work,
you.
yes.
I heard you, and as I
As
say,
the previous
it's
commissioners, yes.
on a light note. Yes, Mrs. Kakane.
Thank you, Chair. Just to be clear, that two things. One is that I only engaged Mr. Nkosi this morning about the issue of the postponement. Mr. Malatji appeared last, and his appearance is not a new appearance. It was on pointed questions, which I think with the evidence, it will be clear that what is being requested are not issues that would help or supplement the answer there too. But in any event, the issue of the bundle that was given to him, it was given on the 28th, which was the Tuesday. The bundle that was used in his last testimony. Then in respect of the documents, the additional documents, I'll itemize what they are briefly, which was communicated yesterday with Mr. Nkosi by the attorneys. It was essentially the additional transcripts, and those additional transcripts are in the majority his testimony.
Whose testimony?
Mr. Malatji's testimony, extracts of Mr. Piri's testimony, and even there, I'm relying on a very narrow point, and that narrow point is on the issue of the instructions that there is some dispute about having been given to Mr. Malatji. Given by Mr. Malatji. I beg your indulgence. So it's a very narrow point, and then the other issues of documents that my learned friend says they were provided late, for example, the 400 and odd pages with the tender documents.
So transcripts is only to Mr. Malatji's and Mr. Piri's?
And Mr. Mnisi.
Mr. Mnisi.
Mr. Mnisi.
And on Mr. Mnisi, what?
It's again a very narrow point.
Which is what?
The point is about the probity report that was that in relation to tender 3, TMPD 3.
A lot was said, especially by Mr. Mnisi, on the probity report. So does what you want to cover relate to all of that, or does it relate to something that's within a narrow ambit?
It's two very narrow points, and maybe one of them will dispose the other. So it's just the issue of Mr. Malatji's presence in a PEC meeting. If he indicates that he was not present, then it disposes of the follow-up questions. That's just on that point. And then the other issue, and again, it was just on his view about the cancellation of that tender, but nothing really turns on it. Then the tender document that is being relied on, it's documents that were part of the initial bundle. So the reference to the tender documents, these are the documents that were already provided on the 20, yes, that's what Mr. Malatji testified on. And in any event, I do not intend to probe him on them any further that much. So essentially, I'm sorry.
Are you effectively saying you will not be dealing with the tender document at
in
all?
great detail. I don't want to take that right away, but in great detail, if, for example, there's
great detail.
a dispute about it.
A difficulty I see if you say not in great detail is where in that document must Director Malatji and his attorneys focus for their paper. Are you able to zoom in on any particular